The Minecraft store has seen some incredible maps already. These are all worlds that I've played, videoed, and reviewed. You can see them here in a top 10 compilation, and let's begin. First up, we have Juliette's Manor from Imagiverse. This is a story-based area where you're moving through a giant manor. You're basically acting as the butler. You're trying to clean things up. This includes, kind of moving around, fixing the flowers, getting materials ready, and then enjoying a grand ball. This is a large, expansive area with incredible amounts of detail, custom music, and lots of other little side stories that you can take into if you'd like. There is a specific kind of target audience with this one, but in general, this is actually a really good map. And again, this is entirely narrative driven. That means there is a story within it, and you can kind of go through that, or you can just play around. You can also just take this as a map that you sort of have to survive off of if you'd like. It is very well detailed. Every single room, every nook, every cranny has some sort of setup, display. There's like chairs, and there's tables, and there's lights, and there's AI running around doing things. You're even guided by an AI to a degree, but it's a little bit more of a free map in that you're not directly pushed to do something if you don't want to. Again, this is a very gorgeous level and incredibly detailed and very large in scale. It's impressive. As I smash my way through everything. Next up is Space Battle Simulator by Qwertyuiop, ThePie. So this is a direct sort of PvP setup. Two sides, two ships. You battle each other. There's teleportation. There's intense action. You can sit in your ship and you can fire at the other ship, or you can repair your ship, or you can board the other ship and you can battle on it. It's really epic. It's a lot of fun, especially if you have a group of friends to play it in. And it is really strategic too, because you're constantly trying to knock out the air supply. There's airlocks that you can shoot people out of, which is crazy. There's just a lot of little details in this one, and it's a lot of fun. You go down and you wreck the guns of the other team. You can battle them directly in PvP. It's set up well. There's a full walkthrough area when you first start the game where you're able to see how the rules are played. It's a very easy setup in that regard. There's a whole walkthrough section where you go, this is what this does in the ship, this is how you do this in the ship. And it really is a very interesting level, and I'd love to see more PvP efforts like this, because it's fun being in space, and it's fun, battling others at the same time. Or, well, trying to defend your ship too, I guess, depending on what side of the coin you're flipped on. And as you can see, this footage is quite epic from a match we had. That was a great shot, by the way. Next up is Elf Island's Heroes from GoE-Craft. So this is another narrative-driven adventure, purely narrative-driven. It takes place across a series of floating islands. So this is just a small taste of it. There are actually multiple islands you go through, and it is a fairly lengthy story. You're attempting to help out and grab these magical boxes that sort of power things. You bring them up to this tower, and then you get sent on to your next one. The worlds, or the floating islands, are connected by portals. You take these mystical portals to the other places, and then you do the objective or narrative-driven adventure there. Every island does something different. There's one that perhaps does puzzles, another that's based around parkour. There's one that uses the elytras with bursts. There's mob battles. It can feel a bit tiring at times, just based on how many things you have to fight, but this is one epic adventure. It's really well developed. The worlds are mystical, they're enchanting, they all look different, they're very distinct. You get a different set of special mobs on each of the island. There's tons of NPCs and AI to talk to. It is linear in design, but yet it feels open in what you do within it. It's a very interesting level. Here we have The Adventurer's Dream by Noxcrew. So this is labeled as a mashup pack, but in essence this is a beautiful open world semi-narrative driven adventure. So there's a story here, but you go around sort of collecting these mystical items from each of the core areas, and you're free to do so whenever you'd like. Each one has challenges, whether that's like solving puzzles, parkouring, communicating with the various AI you deal with, and it's just an expansive, really well developed island. Everything is customized here. There are distinct regions, new animals. You can have unicorns if you'd like. We had a lot of fun with that. And as you can see, like every little section is different. There's like the natural forest, there's a cityscape, there's a fiery doom place, there's a mystical mushroom forest, there's an Iceland area. And then by the end of it, you go and you face off against a giant monster, which is just an absolute blast. It's easy to see where you're going because it's kind of marked by the giant indicators, but it is one epic adventure across this really detailed environment. Destructobot 5000 by Noxcrew. So this one is one of my favorites. It may not be as like massive or large in scale as the other ones, but it is a lot of fun, and it really does showcase just what can be done with this Minecraft store. So you get custom weapons here, you get to jump in giant mechs, and you're fighting robots. So in this one, you can either do a boss battle simulation where you fight like specific giant monsters while fighting other robots, or you can do a PvP battle against others, which is also a lot of fun. You do need friends for it, however. So in this, you go around and you can destroy basically everything within a fairly large city. It's detailed, there's lots of structures to it. All the buildings, have kind of interiors that you can blow up. And it's just an epic battle against robots. And again, it really does display what could possibly be done in terms of tweaking or enhancing Minecraft for these crazy worlds that we could explore. Because you literally get to be like a ninja guy with a special spacesuit, and you got batteries that you're like blasting away in your laser, and you've got huge rockets, and you can see the destruction, and it's a very large open space that you get to just sort of explore and battle things in. It's a lot of fun. It's also what I show for every time there's a new Bedrock edition that releases. I showcase this as the level in that one, because I think it does do a good job of displaying just what is possible here. A Nightmare in CandyWorld from Everbloom Studios. This is one fantastic narrative-driven adventure. It's linear in design, but again, you get some open spaces from which you can battle between. It is beautifully detailed. Everything is customized. The items, the creatures. It's all candy themed. It's beautiful. It's large. It'll take you multiple hours to work through. I did find that some parts were a little bit tough, but this is one really well done story. And there are choices for difficulty too based on the platform you're on. This is again only like a small piece of it. It also has cinematics, which are crazy, and I haven't seen anyone else do that other than this group. You get an actual like story tale. You've got AI that's talking to you the entire time. You've got this little tiny sugar rush that's like chatting in your ear, kind of like Navi and Zelda. It's really neat. And yeah, it's just one impressive long battle that takes you through these just gorgeous landscapes that are, again, so well detailed. I was just blown away playing this. And this whole theme is kind of dark, but it's friendly enough that any of these maps are friendly enough that anyone could jump in and enjoy these. And you do get that mix of puzzle, combat, and other situations throughout the entire thing. This is a long story. Dinosaur Island from PixelHeads. So this is another narrative-driven adventure, well over an hour in length. This one is incredibly detailed, it's spooky, it's cool. There's dinosaurs you're taming, you're kind of moving through a lab, and you're trying to figure out what happened in this mysterious island. They kind of tease more of what could happen. They use an already available kind of jungle perfectly well. It kind of hides the adventure that you're going through. And while it might seem everything is like really close together, the way they guide you along on a linear path in this one is really creative. It uses the space very well, and it's very interesting too. There are AI, there are mission segments, there's even some tomb raiding, which is exciting. Big boss battles, exciting moments, and other sort of mystical things that you just have to play to actually really get. And it's really just a neat level. They did things perfectly well here, and it was a lot of fun to explore. And you get to tame your dinosaurs, like I mentioned, which is cool, pretty cool. Dragon Hero from PixelHeads. This is one epic and impressive fantasy level. This is like the ultimate role-playing thing for you or you and a group of friends to go through. It's this fantasy quest that's kind of, again, most of these are linear, but it's super open in how you do things. And there's side quests and side missions and main missions, and you get to like fly dragons by the end of it, and it's a super demanding map in terms of visual presentation. It's super detailed. There's scripted voicing and mystical portals and elves and all sorts of different fantasy creatures. And it's just this whole custom island. It's impressive and a lot of fun to play on. I was just blown away by this one. It's well over an hour and a bit journey. There are some puzzles, a lot of combat-based scenes, and again, that huge element of fantasy that's perfectly displayed within this level. It's just absolutely incredible, the scale of it, everything. It just looks so good, and I was blown away by this one. Such a good time. Big boss battles too. Epic finale where you gotta like fight along this huge lava floor area. It's crazy. Lapis Lagoon from Imagiverse. These guys are amazing map creators. This one is fun and it's a little bit different. So this is sort of a theme park, a water park, as to say. But the level of detail and quality within this world is amazing. So like their other maps, you could kind of explore, you can get items, and then you can buy like food or you can buy costumes. And it's just a cool map to kind of explore by yourself or with a group of friends as preferred. And you go like there's a bunch of mini games. There's even like a set ride where it's like a big water ride that you're going along with that has like a story to it. It's so cool. There's bumper boats, there's parkour challenges, there's slippy slides, there's kind of like a volleyball setup, there's a huge food court area, tons of water things that you can like slide down and everything like that. There's casual events, there's open water areas that you can kind of swim along or boat along to. And there's like huge statues and photo op opportunities. It's a great time. Blown away by the quality of this level. Playing it then and even like seeing it now, it's just like how expansive and it feels like one cohesive area that's closed off from the rest of the world. And I love that sense of escape within this one. It's beautiful. Just every little bit of it is just beautiful. And with that, we finish off with Relics of the Privateers Imagiverse. So this one's a little bit more demanding visually as far as like the details. So you're going to see that a bit. This is the ultimate pirate fantasy in Minecraft. This was one of the first ones I ever played, and it's just something about this that directly spoke to me in the sense that this is the kind of thing that we want to expect from these worlds. There's tons of detail, tons of buildings. You can go inside the buildings. There's hidden secrets. There's a main mission where you're collecting rings. Everything is detailed. Everything on this island is customized. There's a huge mountain in the backdrop that you'll see occasionally. You actually go inside that mountain and there's like quest stuff inside of there. There's pirate bosses, there's special loot, there's special animals, there's special sounds. And it's just amazing. You could spend countless hours on this one, going around doing the main mission or exploring or looking for treasure or doing whatever you'd like within a pirate themed world. It's crazy. There's animals you can kind of ride. There's dangerous sharks in the water. Seriously, they should put those sharks in main Minecraft. That's how good they are. These guys are just marvels. Anyways, this has been a collection of Minecraft worlds that you can download on any Bedrock version across any of the platforms, and obviously it's cross-buy. You know, Xbox One, Windows 10 PC, Pocket Edition iOS or Android, Nintendo Switch, Virtual Reality, hopefully PlayStation someday, but that's not the case right now. I definitely suggest checking them out. If you have any questions about the maps, let me know.